Animation is a medium that stormed over the world in recent years. Anime has been a very popular type of media consumed by many people in their everyday life, and I totally get it. There are some good shows, some great shows, and some terrible shows that I pray nobody watches. One of the main characteristics of anime is the animation, the way the format of manga has been adapted into anime, and you can mostly tell what is a good show and what isn't. And me, I can do just that. See the difference between a good show and a bad show. But the main difference between a passionate individual like me and an animation studio is time. Time is money, as you have heard it said, and for anything to be good and refined, it needs to take time, whether that is a skill, a project, or whatever. But these animators in Japan don't. Anime more popularly gets released seasonally, meaning they have to pump out a new episode every week. Everyone has heard about how bad the situation is in MAPPA, with the animators having unrealistic and terrible deadlines with little pay. When you're an animator and don't have enough time, either put all your might on a few cuts and the rest be super boring, or try to keep all the scenes you're animating consistent. As someone that always takes quality over quantity, I wanted to challenge myself. What if I only have 1 week to create an anime or anime cut? Everything from the storyboard to the animation and compositing, which you don't see being talked about enough. The scene was set. I'm going to create an animation in 7 days and give it my all. Day 1. On the first day, I tried to get used to Clip Studio Paint and its interface and how the animation system works, the cell folders, layers, etc. As you can see, I was practicing the sphere bouncing on the floor. I do want to say I am not an animator nor call myself one. I do love to animate, but I am not a skilled animator. I have not got a lot of experience with animation, but I do understand it quite well. After I figured everything out, I went straight to storyboarding. I came up with a scene of Goku going Super Saiyan, Vegeta staring down and starting the fight. I was slightly pressured due to the time limit to come up with an animation, but quickly came to that conclusion. Day 2. A lot of planning was done on this day. Sketched out the first, second and third cut and even managed to finish most of the first clip, including the liner and colour. Day 2 was very productive as once I got all my ideas down on paper, it was a lot easier to visualise where this would be going. Day 3. The third day was a good day as well. If you noticed, I did not use a fine brush, instead a more textured looking brush. I did this to make everything look a little more interesting. These days most anime use fine lines and I personally think it looks flat, so I thought I would change things up. Now drawing Vegeta with the kick was very complicated. Couldn't really tell how it should have looked and if the perspective was right, but through some resilience I managed to get through it. Day 4. Day 4 was similar to day 3. Once I finished all the liner, I went ahead and did the shadows as well. For these cuts, I wanted to keep the vibe similar to Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 Episode 16. A smooth, mysterious vibe with little to no shading, with a lot of the airbrushing or soft edge to the characters. But I'll leave it up to you if you think I've succeeded with that or not. I think I might have just come up with something of my own. Day 5. Day 5 was very hard. This day I coloured everything, from raw colours to the shading and everything else. I had to rush it, but towards the end I went back and corrected most imperfections such as colour overlapping or being off a line. This is by far the most time consuming and frustrating part, as you have to figure out which layer the mistake is on and then fix it. Thankfully, Clip Studio Paint has a feature where you can find the layer by tapping whatever you're trying to remove or add to. Day 6. Day 6 I finished up all the drawings. I got all the resources ready to edit. I was quite pleased with how everything looked. In my mind, this was going to look fantastic. So I got to work. I opened DaVinci Resolve and got my clips ready. When exporting, I saved all the scenes as image sequences. This is so that any specific frames I could edit could be done so easily. Then I composed each clip as a video in the app and got to editing. The layer which had liner I set to blur, so it had almost an inky feel to it, and made sure the background and foreground was set correctly. Day 7. On the last day I got more sound effects ready. I began bringing the animation to life. Once I was done with the sound, I got to edit things like the background moving and the camera pans. Once I was done with that, I went over the Fusion tab and added effects such as camera shakes, zoom ins and outs, etc. I also made some parts of the scenes longer as I thought they were too quick. My favourite part, I colour graded each scene. I did a few overlays to make Goku's glow even brighter and made the shadow more realistic and made it look like they were in the scene. Lastly, I exported the animation and finished the challenge, and I believe I succeeded successfully. Yep, that was it. Super short, right? Well, I hate to say that in 7 days I only created a short animation, and each animator in Japan has to do a whole load more work than me in a whole week, which is just impossible for healthy living. I enjoyed this challenge and would look forward to do something similar in the future. I think the hardest part of this was definitely time management. I had to manage what I had to do every single day. That was quite hard and it was very stressful. I kept thinking to myself that I would not be able to finish it on time, but I managed to do it. The easiest and most fun parts of this challenge was the coloring and shading specifically. I think that was the most fun, and the way the shading had to look similar on every frame so that the animation looked consistent. The color grading and effects was also very exciting to me, and yeah, I thank you all for watching this video. I'll see you all in the next one.